Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Today we're going to be reviewing the newest album by AWOLNATION, Angel Miners, and the Lightning Riders. This is the fourth studio album by rock band AWOLNATION, led by Aaron Bruno, the sort of mastermind behind this project. As multiple members and lineup changes come and go, the result has been a variety of different sounds that AWOLNATION has explored throughout their career. Because of this, it's always exciting to see what they're going to try out next. The result, perhaps unsurprisingly enough, is an album that covers a lot of different bases. It's kind of a combination of a lot of different styles that they've already experimented with throughout their career, although it does still have at least that indie rock and classic rock, hard rock kind of backbone that was present on Here Come the Runs, their previous album. The best is sort of a tragic realization for an opener, as Aaron Bruno is sort of realizing there will always be someone better at him at everything. He also channels this frustration and anger about this fact into the lyrics, into the instrumentals, as it's kind of a hard-hitting track here and there. The somber keys are an interesting contrast to the more heavy and demanding drums that make up the backbone of this song. There's a lot of emotions at war here, as the synth portrays a lighter tone of acceptance, while the grittier guitar and lyrics express the frustration that Aaron can't be the best. This sort of battle of emotions is generally the theme of the album, and with Slam Angel Miners, this is no exception. AWOLNATION has generally said a lot with very little, and this is present here as well. The lyrics are very simple and to the point and direct, while the instrumental actually provides a lot of the emotions to this track. The melancholic metronome combined with the synth provides a sort of dire backdrop to Aaron's pining over the struggle of good and evil within his mind. The funkier chorus kind of has a sinister vibe when paired with this fact, as it's like the dark side is trying to take over. There's a lot of sounds on this song, and they're pulled off in a surprisingly smooth way. Lightning Riders kind of reminds me of something from Megalithic Symphony, actually, AWOLNATION's first album. The bombastic chanting, along with Aaron's falsetto and screams, are very reminiscent of the off-the-wall nature that AWOLNATION used to have in the past. The subtle electronics and the sliding of the guitar also give this sort of a hopeful feeling, like he's finally breaking through the haze and he's going to see clearly now. I would say, if anything, sounds like a culmination of AWOL's sound over the years. This track is pretty much it, and I dig it. California Halo Blue is probably one of the best songs on this album. It tells the unfortunate tale of how Aaron basically lost his studio and his house in California's Woolsey fire. The haunting vocals, contrasted by the sort of beautiful imagery in the chorus, is pretty chilling and captures the despair that he felt and kind of confusion as it was all happening as well. You can also feel his love of California, the state itself, as he's showing that things can be rebuilt no matter how bad that they get. The wailing guitars and background vocals also inspire this sort of sense of somber beauty rising from the rough. This is especially prevalent in the outro of the track. Now, I will say, so far, the weakest moments of this album tend to be the more straight-up rock tracks, like Radical here. There were one or two songs that I didn't mention before, but Radical is probably the worst offender of it, I would say. The lyrics can be pretty tongue-in-cheek and funny, but overall the instrumental is pretty standard radio rock riffs and drums. It's pretty uninteresting. I don't really feel like the keys add much to the song, and the lyrics are kind of repetitive for how frequent they are. I do think his vocals are pretty good in this track, but I wish it was more unique and had more variety to match the quality of said vocals. Pacific Coast Highway in the Movies, on the other hand, is probably my favorite song on the record. It's a fun indie pop song about false expectations and learning to live with the situations that he's found himself in. I really like the sort of sing-songy aspect of the lyrics, along with how light he's delivering feelings about sorrow and hopelessness. It's a funny contrast. Rivers Cuomo from Weezer is also present on here, and he just fits right in. In a way, this song is kind of tragically poetic in the fact that he hasn't exactly gotten his Hollywood ending from his PCH dreams yet. Half Italian kind of feels like it came off of their last album, Here Come the Runs. It has a quirky rock sound that combines light and heavy to create a sort of musical temper tantrum, but in a way that's supposed to be funny. I feel like the humor and rock combo is done much better here than on Radical, mostly because it also extends into the instrumental itself. This is especially true with that weird theremin sound popping in here and there, along with how sluggish the guitar feels. It's like it's the music equivalent of what the fuck am I even doing? Similar to the last few albums, AWOLNATION ends the album with a sort of power ballad with I'm a Wreck. It starts off very simple and slow with the guitar and vocals before the main beat kicks in. I really do like the continuation of the droning guitar from the previous song, along with the keys that add a nice ambiance when compared with the sort of lo-fi recording style here. The transition into the last half of the song is also very smooth, with violins, guitar, electronics, all playing in harmony. It was an interesting decision to sort of end with an ambiguous ending when it comes to the angel and demon, good and bad struggle. However, I also kind of appreciate that it was left open because, after all, I think it's probably a message of the album as well that most people are not purely good, purely evil. Life isn't about just angels and demons, it's all the gray in between. Overall, I would say this is a pretty decent album for AWOLNATION. They definitely added back some of the quirkier and wild sounds that they played with off of their first album, while pairing it with the hard rock direction that they've been going in recently. While I do prefer this to their previous album, Here Come the Runts, I will say that it does in places feel a bit like retreaded ground, and it doesn't get as weird as I would have liked it to. I feel like the story and themes of the album also could have expressed a bit more succinctly, as the sort of battle between good and evil in Aaron's mind isn't really expressed all that much in the album's structure or in the track listing itself. I do think this needs to be given more attention because the themes of past albums tended to be a little bit more vague, or they tended to vary depending on the song, so they had more leeway with the track order there, not so much in this case. The album was fun enough though. I feel like maybe next time they should try to move away from the hard rock sound a little bit. Look at the Megalithic Symphony sound, maybe even Run's sound a little bit, to try to get a little bit more crazy, get a little bit more out there, whether it's in the production style, the lyrics, samples, what have you, but I want something a little more off the wall next time. Overall, I'm feeling a light 7 for Angel Miners and the Lightning Riders. Of course, we do have to talk about the album cover on the show, and this album cover, I don't care for it too much. I think if it was maybe just that sort of mask figure with AWOLNATION on the top, it would have worked a little bit better. But the inclusion of the little wooden base, I don't know, it just has a weird hierarchy to it. It also, the red combined with the brown doesn't stand out as much as the red combined with the colors of the mask. I feel like if they blew up the mask a little bit more, made that the cover, or maybe even done like a King Crimson or something and made just the entire thing a super close-up of the mask with the, with the text or whatever, that might have been a little bit cooler. Made the hierarchy make a little more sense. The base just kind of ruins it to me. It gives a lot of empty space at the bottom that I don't care for. But that is what I think about this new AWOLNATION album. What did you guys think about it? Did you also want a little more zany, off-the-wall stuff? Or is this hard rock direction kind of your thing? Let me know. And until the next one, farewell.